Hi there, everybody. Adam Cleary from FourFourTwo here, and just really quickly for you, we've got some brand new, never-before-seen exclusive footage of all 4 Man City goals from last night. Roll the tape, please. This is goal number 1, goal number 2, goal number 3, and oh, what a finish, goal number 4. Now, full disclosure, I wasn't actually going to do a video on that game because I just thought, it's Man City doing Man City things. Doesn't need a bad nerd to overcomplicate it for anybody, but I watched it back this morning because, yeah, that's my life, and I noticed something very interesting. Basically, Pep Guardiola is not just a footballing genius, he's also a footballing supervillain, and I just think that's worth applauding. Alright, so let's really quickly take a journey through time and space. It's really scary to the first leg. Some of the best moments Real Madrid had came from one man, Eduardo Camavinga. It was his penetrating drive down the left-hand side that got Real Madrid their first goal, and he was just relentless in hounding City's players, not letting them play, getting in their faces, winning the ball back. He was excellent. But you may or may not be aware of this, he is not naturally a left-back. He always played as a central midfielder. That's what Real Madrid signed him to do, and he's still sort of learning his trade over there. So what Pep Guardiola did was, and if I just may borrow a line from a movie, he took a long, hard look at him and he said, "The left-back role is strong with you, young Camavinga, but you are not a defender yet." And thus he took that natural enthusiasm he had for pressing the ball and getting involved with play and used it to ruin his entire life. So here is the first goal for you. As you can see, that's a really good, actually, defensive shape of a 4-2-3-1. Everybody knows their jobs, they're nice and compact. City can't play through that. And there's our friend Eduardo Camavinga, perfectly positioned as the left back. Now, as you can see here, Rodri is about to spray the ball out to the right-hand side to a player who is currently embodying the key concept of City's approach. Bernardo Silva is not even visible on this screen because he is standing on the touchline to try and create as much width as he possibly can. The ball goes out to him, and Camavinga, as is his job as the left back, goes out to pressure him. Just gonna pause. The whole thing here probably looks dreadful with this top because I need to show you something very important for the rest of this video, okay? Right? This big bit here, this is called the half space. Now, it's quite a nebulous concept that it can change depending on the teams or just the situations, but the easiest way to think about it, okay, is it is the horizontal lines across a football pitch that you would neither class as central nor would you class them as wide. They're sort of the bits in the middle. And they're very useful if you can get players into them because you're not so far away from the goal that you can't really affect things, but you're also not so central that you're likely to be congested. You tend to be very dangerous and have a lot of options if you can get space in the half space. And what City wanted to do last night was to stay as wide as they possibly could to see if they could create that space in the half space, and if at any point they did, every single player who spotted it was running straight into it. So Camavinga has taken the bait here, he's charged out, the rest of the defense hasn't really gone with him. We have a lot of room in the half space. John Stones is the player who spots this, he makes the run, and this is where it all starts to come together for City. Stones isn't receiving it in a particularly dangerous area, he's got his back to goal, he's not exactly a massive threat here, but he has forced Toni Kroos to track his run. Now you can already see here, what was previously a defensive line of 4 players, all exactly where they wanted to be, is now a defensive line of 5 players, with 2 of them not really totally sure what they're supposed to be doing. Kroos has tracked the run, and because he's gone deeper than the defense, they are being forced to move back to keep the line, and Camavinga, realizing that, oh, that's actually the space he's supposed to be defending, now gets drawn to the ball. Now, we are still a number of seconds away from the key thing happening, but if you just look at Bernardo Silva's body language here, you can already see he knows exactly what's about to go down. He knows exactly what to do. He is moving into the space from which he is about to score the goal. Madrid forced Stones to go backwards, but now he's drawn 3 separate players towards him, and because they've gone so deep in doing so, the defenders are now on the edge of the 6-yard box. Now, Real Madrid need to reset in this situation. They need to get Camavinga back in the left-back spot, they need to get in a nice line, and they need to push up out of their own box, and this is what's known as a transition. There isn't an overload here or anything. Real Madrid have 4 players for City's 4 attackers, but it is going to take them some time and some thought and some disruption to get a solid shape back. And City are banking on this. Camavinga chases the ball down by pressuring Walker because instinctively as a midfielder, that's what he thinks he should do. And when the ball comes across to Kevin De Bruyne, Kroos and Modric, because they're almost certainly being told to look after De Bruyne in that position, both get drawn towards him. And nobody but nobody has remembered or thought about little Bernardo Silva, who is now standing unmarked and onside in Real Madrid's half space within their own box. Kevin De Bruyne does not need telling twice, plays him in with a brilliant through ball, and when he receives it, just look at the shape that City have manipulated Real Madrid into. 12 seconds previously, they were as perfectly organised as you could ever possibly hope to be. Just going to really quickly draw these lines on to illustrate, and now they are like this. And here are those same lines. And it's a great finish, but if we just take a quick look at this aerial shot, you could see he could very easily just roll it across to Gundogan for a tap-in, or if he was feeling particularly fruity, could just loft it to the back post for Haaland to head in. That's how good a chance it was that they made. And all because Eduardo Camavinga's brain still doesn't quite know he's a left back and instead thinks, I'm going to go get that ball. And I could break the second goal down in exactly the same way, but I'm sure we've all got things to do today. City this time are holding as much width as they can on the left-hand side. Camavinga has, for reasons known only to him, pursued it all the way out to that side, leaving this enormous gap in the half space. Yep, that's it. Toni Kroos, fair play to him, does trot over to make sure Kevin De Bruyne can't take advantage of this. But with Camavinga neither getting back into position to allow his other defenders to shift across or just getting into the space to read the danger, allows Gundogan to burst in. He then goes for goal, and while you could argue he's slightly fortunate that it loops up and onto the head of Bernardo Silva, if we just look at this shot here, it's not anything to do with luck, really, is it? City have just manoeuvred them there. And there you go, Man City 2, Real Madrid 0, and just quickly once again, let's show the third and fourth goal. Yep, and yep, they were never coming back from that. So for all Pep Guardiola does occasionally get accused of overthinking these big games and got a lot of praise for sticking with the same team and thus not overthinking these things, you can see that he still does think about it to some degree, and when he thinks about it, he's really good at it. Camavinga's tenacity and desire to win the ball back was undoubtedly one of Real Madrid's biggest strengths in the first leg, and Guardiola somehow managed to turn that into their greatest weakness in the second leg. That is, you simply sometimes just have to hold your hands up and say, fair. But hey, of course, that's just my opinion, so let us know what you make of it in the comments below. And of course, don't forget, how could you, to like the video, we really love that, to share the video, that helps us out massively. And if you haven't already, please subscribe to FourFourTwo here on YouTube so we can keep making all of these wonderful pub ammunition tactics videos that you can enjoy completely free. In the meantime though, thank you so much for watching. I've been Adam Cleary, this is FourFourTwo, and I don't know what the Turkish word is for see you soon, because they're going to Istanbul, that's the gag, so bye.